Brother, I can hear you. Oh, yeah.
How are you, sir?
I am great, Sean. How are you? It's a real
Yeah,
privilege
it's
to
good.
be
It's
here.
8:35 London time. It's a bit breezy outside, so after I finish here, I'm gonna do my daily constitutional of going outside to the park, doing some exercises. For me, it's important to keep physically active because it helps with my mental well-being. So
I know 2,000 sit-ups a day. Are you a lunatic? What's going on?
I am. Well, I just had my 64th birthday, so I think it's important to keep myself, healthy.
64th?
I do stomach crunches, not sit-ups, because I mean even that would put pressure on my back. So it's stomach crunches I do.
Sorry, mate. I just turn you up. I'm a bit mutton Jeff. So,
Okay.
did you the chase? I mean, we're
Yeah,
religious. We're religious watchers here, my wife and I.
I
I'm
know.
very average. I'm very
Uh,
average. I don't think. Well, I don't know. I'd like to have a go, but I
okay.
reckon you guys would clean me out on the first lot of questions. So you're a lawyer by trade, right?
Yeah, I'm still a practicing barrister this year. I'll be celebrating 40 years as a criminal barrister. So, for me, it was always important to actually keep my career going because although the show is extremely popular and phenomenal, the one thing I never take for granted, Mike, is the fact that I'm going to get another contract or ITV are going to commission the show. So I'm only as good as my last closing speech as a lawyer, and I'm only as good as the last question I answer correctly as a chaser. So I never ever take things for granted.
So you got in the show through Mastermind.
Yeah, actually, last week, Friday, I celebrated 20 years as a Mastermind champion. I think, if you don't know, I was the first Black person to win the show in its 36-year history at the time. So it was a tremendous honor and achievement, not only for myself, but my family, but for my community, my race, because it demonstrated that, Black people do have the same intellectual capacity as our white counterparts. And from there, I've not really looked back in terms of me being in the public eye. Although after winning Mastermind, Mike, I retired because where could I go? And they're not going to let me on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire because they know I'd win £1 million without even using a lifeline. So I retired, but I was coaxed out of retirement to take part in a quiz show called Are You an Egghead? I did so reluctantly. I got to the grand final and lost, retired again, but ITV managed to twist my arm, thankfully. And for the last 15 years, I've been the Dart Destroyer on the chase.
Wow. And what was your specialist subject?
All on soccer for Mastermind. I did European Cup finals or Champions League finals since 1970. I did the England football team at the European Championships because, England are now competing at the European Championships in Germany from 1963 to 2004. And because, Mike, I only live a stone's throw away from the national iconic Wembley Stadium, I did FA Cup finals since 1970. So, I managed to win. I actually won without passing. Both myself and the guy who finished second, Don Young, was a brilliant quizzer in his own right. He got 24. I got 24. He passed twice. I didn't. And when people ask me why how comes I didn't use any passes during Mastermind, I said I only pass when I'm playing football, not when I'm quizzing.
You're a Chelsea supporter, right?
There we are, son.
There you are.
Yeah.
So, like,
There we are. Of course, I'm a Chelsea supporter. I've been a Chelsea supporter since 1967. Although, as I say, I'm not really too pleased what happened to Mauricio Pochettino at the end of the season. Still, nevertheless, I'm looking forward optimistically to the 2024-2025 season. And I'm going to the first game of the season because we're playing the champions, Man City. So I'll be at that game on August the 18th.
well, football was really huge. We had match of the day back here, back in the 60s. And in
Yeah.
1969, I went to school and all my mates were there and they were going, Arsenal. Now,
Okay.
I thought they were saying asshole. So I'm
Okay.
an asshole. And then my mate said, no, it's actually Arsenal. And I was like, who's Arsenal? And he said, that's our team. And that was
Okay.
it. Alan Ball was the skipper back then. And,
Well, Alan Ball didn't join. He didn't actually join. Not in 1969 because he was still an Everton player because he won the league title with Everton in 1970.
who was the
So he
skipper back
joined.
then?
He joined Arsenal in 1972 because he was part of the team Arsenal lost to Leeds in the FA Cup final that year. So
What
he
year was
joined
Charlie
the
Nicholas in the team? Charlie Nicholas was the new George Best, wasn't he?
Yeah, so he joined in 1983, and Charlie was a good player, but they used to call him Champagne Charlie because he used to sort of, like the women, he was a very good footballer. But once George Graham came, who was a strict disciplinarian, he wasn't going to tolerate that. So that's why he left.
At what age did you it sound like you got a photographic memory. At what age did you know that you could retain?
I'm a bit skeptical about this phrase "photographic memory" because I don't have one. I have an interest in stuff, in things.
But how do you retain it?
Because I'm interested in things, and remember, I'm a trained barrister. So I'm trained to think on my feet. I'm trained to research. I'm trained to sort of be fearless. I'm trained to answer questions under pressure because I do that in court. So I've used those skills in a transferable way to the shark-infested world of quizzing and entertainment. So, and remember, I've been a quizzing professional for the last 20 years.
Yeah.
So,
you have any weaknesses?
Every Achilles has a heel. Mine is soaps, TV soaps, mainly. Don't like it. Don't watch it.
Well, usually it's Neighbours, EastEnders, Coronation Street.
Yeah, don't watch them. So
yeah, I know.
If I'm asked a question on the soap, I'll just guess. If I get it right, I'm lucky. If I don't, I'll move on.
Another question: do the chasers hang out? Like, so when the show's on and we go, who's coming down? Is it just you in the studio at the time? Do you have time?
Yeah, because we come in at different times. When we first started out, when myself, Mark, and Anne started out in series 2, we had to hang around in the studio behind backstage, and I started to complain because A, it was a waste of my time, and B, I could be doing something productive professionally in terms of going to court in the morning. So they recognise that. So we now come in when on our designated time recording.
Interesting. How do you juggle the two careers?
As I say, it was easier when we were recording at the iconic ITV studios in the South Bank in Waterloo, because I could then do a full day's trial and go to record in the evening, because I always used to do the 5 o'clock slot. But studio time is very, very expensive. And obviously Bradley being in studio all day is very, very tiring for him. So obviously the days are relatively shorter now. So what I do, once I've got my recording schedule, if I've got a long trial on, a major trial, that will always take precedence. And the Chase producers have always recognised that my career is very, very important, and it does come first. And although I am a committed member to the chasing experience, or for want of a better expression, I'm a lawyer who happens to be on TV, not the other way around.
Yeah. At what stage did you know that the chase was going to take off? Because
I didn't. I suppose the show really took off with that Fanny Schmeller question, that Fanny Schmeller moment. It became very, very popular. Every time I'm asked about the chase, I'm always asked how Bradley is. Do you remember that question, Fanny Schmeller? So I suppose that question really catapulted the show into the sort of TV stratosphere, I suppose, and it became really popular, especially when you've got different disparate chasers with different characteristics, but have that one common goal of having a formidable quizzing intellect, I suppose.
Now, I take it you go to the football a lot?
Not as often as I can, because obviously, there's not enough hours in a day. So I'm very selective when I go to watch Chelsea. So the games which I will always go to is when Chelsea play Tottenham, because they're the team who, for me, have been our biggest rivals. So Chelsea, Tottenham, Chelsea, I'll always go to. And, games like Chelsea v Man City, or, the high-profile games when Chelsea are playing.
Okay, so when the crowd sees you, what do they chant?
There's only one Dark Destroyer.
Bam. That must be a thrill.
It's nice, it really is. I remember when they started chanting that at West Ham's London Stadium, it just brought a tear to my eye. Even the fans were chanting, even the opposing fans were chanting that. So it's nice. It's good banter when I have it with the away fans, and I'll always stop and take photographs or do sort of short video messages, because it's all part of the banter.
So for people that are going to be coming to the events in New Zealand, we've seen you on the chase. What do they expect? Are they going up against you or?
No, they won't be coming up against me. Obviously, I'll be hosting most of the quizzes in terms of the questions. So not necessarily. There may be a challenge at the end whereby the best team will come up against me, and invariably I'll probably get beat because some of the teams in New Zealand are very, very good. But the reason why I'm here, Mike, is to try and raise. Oh yeah, listen, absolutely.
I could not imagine anyone anyone coming close.
Don't get that twisted, mate. Listen, there's some very good New Zealand quizzers, very good. And the last time, I don't think I won one sort of head-to-head against them. I think I won 1 out of 5. They are that good, honestly. And the questions are not parochial. They're just good.
What's that old saying? Anyone can score a goal at training, right? Once the camera comes on,
and anybody can score a lucky goal, or even David beat Goliath, so it can happen.
So they come to the event.
Importantly, Mike,
they come to the event.
But more importantly, we're trying to raise money for the One Hope charity, because I think it's very, very important to shine the spotlight on charities which, as I say, are not high profile. Don't get the recognition or the public recognition they deserve. And I think using my fame in an altruistic way to try and highlight such a wonderful charity is one of the reasons I'm coming to New Zealand, apart from meeting the wonderful people as I travel up and down the country.
Well, it's been a real pleasure talking to you, Shaun. Never thought this was going to happen. The shows are on in New Plymouth on Monday, July the 8th. Wednesday, July 10 in Hamilton, and of course Sunday, July 14 in Auckland. Go well, my friend. It's
and you too. I look forward to seeing you, Mike, and hopefully people will come along in their droves to buy tickets, because when I came last year, because of the devastating hurricane in one of the, I can't remember the name of the place, but they know.
Hawke's Bay. Hawke's Bay, Napier Hastings.
Hawke's Bay, that's correct.
Yeah,
we managed to raise on my tour around New Zealand 80,000 New Zealand dollars. So I want to try and break that record this year. So please, people, come out and support the worthwhile charity. Come out and meet me. It'll be really, really good, and we're going to have a fantastic time because the quiz events are really, really good.
You've got a giant heart, my friend. It's been a pleasure. See you when you get here.
It's not big enough. It needs to be bigger.
Thank you, brother.
Cheers, Mike. Bye-bye.